blade storms, and it's interesting to me the point you bring up that like the Counter-Strike players are probably not going to be used to having their head on this much of a swivel, where characters, you know, the people that come over from games like Overwatch and stuff like that, where they're used to having to look to the sky for the Pharahs and Mercies and stuff like that. The Counter-Strike guys, like, if there's not something for you to stand on, then what's the point of looking up there? But Jet's going to force them to kind of like adjust and adapt to a new game.
But they certainly will adapt. And that's the scary thing, is imagine players with the aim from CS suddenly learning how to utilize these abilities to their best. They are going to be a formidable force. And Alex, just to quickly touch upon what you're talking about as well with the updraft and with the hover, you don't actually have to use updraft to hover with Jet as well. Just a normal jump. If you hold down jump, she's going to hover in the air slightly. So this is a good way to manipulate the map so you can get to different places where someone else might not be able to. For example, on this map, if you go over towards the B site, you can actually jump onto the crate in the middle. You can then use her ability by hovering to get over to a crate a little bit further across without even having to use updraft. So someone might not expect you to be there in a certain round, for example. So all these different things that you have to consider when you're both attacking and defending.
Well, I'm excited because Ace is going to be using Jet, and Ace has a nasty shot.
Yes.
So that will be fun to watch. Mendo, I believe, is going to be using the Sage here, and we'll get a full wraparound on who's using what. And that also will kind of tell us where our fellow streamers are, you know, where they're focused on, what they're thinking about. Oh, seems like we had a little syncing issue here with Mendo. That's okay, though. In case you guys don't know, Mendo, a big anime fan and also part of Team Liquid. So now we all know. Thank you, Mendo, for the information. Here we go. It's like we got Ace now on the screen.
A reminder: these games were all played, I think, on Friday. So we were watching the streamers watch their own pods. Yeah, over the weekend. They're not live is the main point, that these guys, if you go to their stream, if you go to Ace's stream, you can hear him kind of comment on his own gameplay and what he thinks is happening. As you can see, he's very chill right here. Doesn't look like he's not actually gaming at this moment.
Oh wow, I did not realize that they did that. There you go. Every day's a school day when you're watching Ace's stream.
Think about the environment there. Think about the resources. You know, this town is ravaged, and
he thinks he's still playing Animal Crossing. He's trying to farm things.
He's trying to hack away at this stuff, maybe trying to get some grain. I mean, you know, but think about the other vendors, man. It's not cool.
And so the reason why I'm excited to watch Ace, and not just because he's hacking away at things and he's selling grain, but also, as far as I was aware, on the first day, maybe even the second day, he had the record for the most kills in any game. I think he set a record of something like 55 kills in a game. Someone may have beat that on the Saturday or the Sunday, I'm not too sure, but he was certainly up there as setting a record to start with. He has that ability, he has that aim, and as soon as like he takes all of that sheer gun skill from other games he's played and he adds it to like some of the utility that's available with the likes of Jet, he is just going to be so terrifying to play against.
Oh yeah? Okay, cool.
Well, let's see when this game's going to start up here in a few seconds. Players are currently going to be in the prep phase, and then we start with the match. Shout out to Ace for just bringing his webcam down, so this way we can get a little bit more vision and see. I know this is like a small thing, but I am curious to see where people start to like how they design their graphics for their stream, because there's a lot of places where you're going to be missing out on vital info and you don't want to block the other players. But now we got Mendo. We're going to be starting with him as the round begins, and Mendo coming in hot. He's going to be using the Sage. No wall, though, for this one. I kind of feel like, Dan, you want to start off with a wall when you're playing Sage.
A wall is very good at stopping people pushing a site, and considering the majority of times in the first round, you're going to see people stack one site and they're all going to push. So yes, that wall can be very, very successful at holding back a push. But maybe he just feels like it's not going to offer as much as the slowing orb that was available there. At the moment, he has managed to push back these two players that are on site. Does get some decent shots as well. Mendo takes down Dizzy, and now it's a 2 versus 1. Make that game. It's going to be the round because Summit takes down Flom. So first round going to those guys, and they did pretty well there. And I think he did well to get in a good position, even though he didn't have the wall. He knew when to rotate. I think that's very important, as you have to rotate accordingly.
Another note too, when he deployed the slow orbs, 2 of them, I don't think he caught the player. We can't hear it, to be honest with you guys who are watching. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I know I can't. But I don't think he necessarily caught the person that was going to be inside of the slow orb. When that person is in the slow orb, though, no matter who it is, teammate, friend or foe, you will hear like ice being, hit with like a tiny little hammer. Is what that's the best way I can explain it. The person's like walking on eggshells, literally. That's how it sounds, like a little crunch as they're continuing on step by step. And it doesn't matter how slow you go, you're gonna make that sound no matter what. You could be the only way you don't make the sound is if you are at a 100% crawl, and you are just not moving at all. That is when you cannot hear it. But look at that, they're actually deployed that wall, and then Dizzy got caught off guard because of that. Very well done with the barrier, deployed it, and it ends up picking up the other SMG. Probably would have preferred to hold on to his silence SMG, his Spectre. But even then, though, in the close range of the hookah, the Stinger actually works really well.
Yeah, the Stinger can still do an insane amount of damage. Actually, I think the individual bullet of the Stinger does more than the Vector, but it doesn't have as quick of a fire rate. The Spectre, a bit more expensive than the Stinger, though. It costs you an extra 600, and that's a good push out there from Mendo. So Jordan Fisher will just be ripped apart. But there's the trade from Ace, and that is something that Counter-Strike players will certainly be familiar with. If your teammate goes down, you can often just make that trade because you'll be able to push out and usually get free shots on someone who is probably looking at something else.
For myself, a person that does not have a Counter-Strike background, but more familiar with Search and Destroy, for example, in Call of Duty, you trade in that too, but in CS it is way more prevalent, and in Valorant that's exactly how it is as well. When you're able to trade out like that effectively, you continue to keep the game on your side. While that unfortunately didn't really pan out though for the enemy team, and it led to a round win. Seems like the defense so far has been thriving here with Mendo and company leading the charge.
Yeah, and you had a little quick look at the buy menu as well. We haven't spoke about it too much, but there is armor there, of course. There are light shields as well as heavy shields. The heavy shields is going to give you 50 armor, whereas the light, just half that. Heavy armor is going to cost you 1,000, though. So usually you won't see people having heavy armor in the first couple of rounds unless they win a round and they get some decent money behind them. And you'll see a lot of Stingers being used because that's one of the cheaper SMGs instead of the Spectre. The Bulldog is the cheapest assault rifle at 2,100, but it doesn't do as much damage as the Guardian, Phantom, or Vandal because they can all do single headshot kills. So that's something to kind of take note. And when you are choosing which guns you want, are you a player that can hit those headshots, or do you want more of a spray and pray kind of weapon? Which is why you might see some people have more success with the SMGs over the assault rifles.
Oh, there's the Cypher trap that just got activated. You have to shoot that right away. If you don't, there's a second one. That is just annoying. He does manage to shoot the second trap, but that is the Cypher ability, the trap wire that you have to deactivate or else you will get notified. But because it does end up getting hit, yeah, if you're the Cypher, you know exactly where that's coming. But Mendo, man, great shots out of him so far.
Yeah, he's pre-aiming as well and trying to wallbang a couple of positions, so he's already familiar with where people might be. Does get taken down by Tim the Tapman of all people. Summit, though, will get the trade, and Dizzy will finish the round onto Summit, and there's going to be the first round then for the attackers. They were able to just get into and onto a site eventually. But yeah, those are things you've got to think about with the trap wire, Golden Boy. You get stunned as well. If you don't shoot it quick enough, not only are they notified where you are, but you also get stunned for a brief amount of time, which is then going to make it very difficult if that Cypher is waiting around the corner for you.
Yeah, and that A push is what fell apart so fast. So retaking that site is going to be very challenging to do there. But Mendo, I applaud him for the cheeky play, getting on top of the boxes there with his wall. You can do that from multiple teammates as well. If you want to have a few people, for whatever reason, get onto the high ground, you just got to coordinate it because your teammate actually doesn't see the wall being placed. You only see the wall. So you have to tell them, stand right here so I can lift you up. Otherwise, they will have no indication as to where it is. Now, also another thing to note here, because we didn't talk about it all that much, was that the Sova went and picked up the orb that was sitting there. There's a neutral orb, and when you get that, it gives you an extra tick on your ultimate ability. We spoke about that previously, but we haven't really seen that done. Haven't seen it happen in the past. So Mendo had crept around the corner there with the Sheriff to protect his teammate, the Sova, because it seems like they're prioritizing getting the Sova ult, which is a very strong ability, shoots through walls.
And you also saw on the minimap as well with Sova's ability, firing that arrow that is going to let people know where you are if they're in line of sight, but it also is shown on the minimap for everyone. So if a Sova is attacking and uses that ability, you might have a good indication of where they're going to be pushing. So it can not only be used as information, but you can also use it as a bit of bait. You might fire it towards the other site, so then the team thinks, okay, well, they're going to be pushing A, and instead it is just going to be bait and they're going to be pushing B instead.
Good use of the wall there too. So he pops all of his utility, Mendo. Uses the slow orbs, also uses the wall orb to just block off Hookah because they have the thought that the push is going to be coming from the B side. And just as all that's going on, Tim the Tatman gets the pick onto A, which prompts the rotation, and he goes there for the save though, getting the eliminations on Jordan and Flom. Dizzy's going to be there, and you just saw him actually pop off onto the left side here. I think that was going to be Dizzy. One more player is going to be sitting on top of the truck there, and that is the pick. That is the round, and they are going to be able to get the defusal. 3 rounds now for the squad here. Mendo, Lupo, Summit, Cloak, and Hiko.
Yeah, that was Ace just up on the truck there, utilizing Jet's ability, being able to use the updraft to get into areas where some other agents might not be able to get without a little bit of help from someone else. Unfortunately, even though he was able to get the jump on one player, the communication was there so that the trade could be had. Communication is very important in all games nowadays, but there is a ping system also in this game. So if you don't have a microphone, or if you're playing with some random people in matchmaking, you can ping where players are, similar to what you might have experienced in something like Apex Legends, for example. Something that maybe CS players might not be as familiar with the pinging with middle mouse button, for example. You can put it on whatever you want with the keybinds, but it's a very successful way of giving a clear visual indication as to where enemies might be.
Yeah, I would really suggest everyone that when you load up the game for the first time and you hopefully get access into the beta, that you rebind where the pinging is going to be. It is useful. I used it a few times, took advantage of it. I would just really suggest everyone do the same thing. Oh, and look there. So Ace, he took advantage of the Jet kit, right? He jumps all the way up using the updraft onto the box. The only other player that can do that is going to be Sage with the wall. And that gives up a lot with that wall because it's protection, it's so much. But the Jet's able to get up there so easily, right on over cover, get onto the high ground, catch someone off guard. You will hear it though. It is very loud, the Jet updraft. It's just like it's like a whoosh almost that will fly up, and you can get that audio indicator as to where they're going to be positioned at. And now the Viper ult is down on site. That will be the enemy Viper ult, and if it's still up, that means that the Viper is inside of there.
Yeah, and you can see how careful Ace is being as well. He's only got 10 HP. If someone just kind of looks at him, he's probably going to die, but he's able to get behind some enemies here, takes down Hiko. You saw he was getting decayed as he walked into Viper's ultimate as well. You will get taken down to 1 HP if you stand in that ultimate for too long, but it won't actually kill you. He did survive, he stayed at 1 HP, and then you get that health back once you leave that ultimate, the Viper Club that is there. And Viper is going to be the last remaining player, last remaining agent as well. Bomb is down, the spike has been planted.
Yeah, I can't really see this working all that well for the Viper. The visual indicators are very helpful. You can be informed when you're healing, when you're burning, when you're decaying, when you're slowed as well. They'll all appear at the bottom left of the weapon on your screen. Round 1, though, that's going to make it 3-2. Tim the Tatman is going to lock that one up there, and he's using Breach. Maybe he picked that character because he felt like he identified as him physically, emotionally. I don't know, but it's working. You know, it's working for Tim. You do you. I'm actually really mad that Jordan Fisher, but it also makes sense, though, isn't playing Dizzy because, I mean, he's got the same haircut, you know, like... if there is ever a Valorant movie, get Jordan Fisher to play Phoenix, because that's just an easy casting opportunity, and also he's a great actor, so you know that too. That also helps.
I don't know though for sure.
He's also good at his job.
He's also good at his job. He's a good singer. He's a good actor. He's a good dancer. Oh no! Oh my goodness! You just lined up for him. Why would you do that? Why would you line up for Ace? The madman has the gun pointed right in front of you. You run away as soon as you can. Oh, that looked really bad. And Ace is going to pick up another one, but Dizzy's there for the cleanup. Didn't allow him to get the ace. Oh, Ace is going to get the ace. What is his closest stream right now? I'm done.
Chad, if you got any questions for our casters here, let me know, and I'll pass them on. These guys got to play during the alpha. I have all the info.
Oh, Summit's in the game. Hopefully he doesn't get burned.
Why would you bring that up straight away? Like, the first thing you say We've managed to pick out Shade on Forsen, Summit, and Tim the Tatman. Golden Boy, it's very brave of you.
It is. Well, you know, my friends, and they'll make fun of me too.
Well, yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I take my opportunities where I can, where they're defenseless and can't say anything. I do it to Lupo all the time. Then he does it back to me. It's just our relationship. What a shot there, by the way, from Summit. He knew exactly where that player was going to be coming because 9 times out of 10, with the way that Ace was moving there, he heard the footsteps. So he was able to time that out and line up the shot. And Summit has that Counter-Strike background, so he knows exactly where to place it. And once you get an idea of you know, the hitboxes for the characters and also just the size of the characters too, you'll easily be able to level out your aim for a weapon like the Guardian and just pick up a few headshots.
And I am fairly certain that all characters have the same hitbox as well. I am pretty sure that is a thing that I remember being said. So don't worry if you're thinking, oh, well, maybe is my character going to be a bit bigger than other characters? Am I going to be susceptible to a little bit more damage?
Smaller, you know?
Exactly. They're all the same hitbox, so it's all fair and even on the playing field. But what Summit does offer, and because he has that background of Counter-Strike, is just reticule placement. I think that's something that the crosshair placement is something that's so important in games like this. You can see him using the Sova ult here. When you tag someone with that ultimate, they will appear on your screen. So you've got to try and track them to hit them again. It's not going to kill them in one shot, but if you can hit them with 2, then they're going to go down, and you will be able to get the kill.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the tag with the Sova ult, because when you lock that down, it becomes even more challenging for you to get away. Not only you get hit, you start to slow down, but then you're trying to jump away from it, panicking, getting a little frantic, and then before you know it, you're waiting and you're watching your teammates trying to win the round for you.
Someone gets the kill.
Oof.
And that's just easy for him. When someone's not looking at you and you have the aiming ability of the likes of Summit, I mean, you're going to be in a fantastic spot. It's just easy pickings.
I was playing with DDK, a well-known Counter-Strike commentator, and the way that he was just running around the map with the Sheriff. Again, we are going to say this so many times. If you are a Counter-Strike player, you're watching this game, and you're relatively interested in getting involved in it, because you want something new and fresh, oh boy, this game is going to reward you for all of those aim trainers, Kovacs, everything that you did is going to reward you for it. Because if you had a Sheriff like that and you like line up those shots beautifully, it is a rich feeling, I tell you.
I think that is what is really exciting about this game coming out, is we haven't had a game like this come out in quite some time, and it is a very grindy game. And what I mean by that is you can see improvement so quickly if you put the time and the effort in. Just 20 hours of gameplay and suddenly you're going to feel like a completely different player to what you did when you first started. 100 hours of gameplay and you're going to start to feel like a demigod. When 1,000 hours and you are going to be a literal god at that point, because you're really going to be able to put that time in. You're going to learn what spots to be position yourself in defensively, predicting where people are going to be offensively, and also your aim is just going to get better and better. There's a training map as well that you can jump on, and you can start to check out different spray patterns, for example, something that a lot of Golden Boy players, a lot of Counter-Strike players will know that spray patterns are very, very prominent and something you have to learn.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you could use to teach you in-game already. So, and that's actually what I would tell for a lot of folks that are coming from different games out there, hero shooters, or maybe even games like League of Legends, for example. Like you're a fan of Riot Games and you just want to play the games that they make. Those are, what a shot there from Summit, by the way. Jordan Fisher came around the corner, but Ace secures the win. You have the tools to be able to practice your aim. And I really hope that players don't get discouraged right away, because I know that it's not fun to roll up into a game, get all excited. You're like, yo, man, this is awesome. I'm about to learn everything. You play your first game, and then you just get bopped. And then you're like, wait a minute, what happened? I lost 13-0? How is this even possible? So you have to take into consideration that there's going to be that learning curve for the game, but don't let that discourage you, because as you continue to improve and your aim gets better and you start to land more of your shots, you will see that visual progress with your shot. Just put in the work, and I guarantee that you will really like this game. Sure, it's going to be challenging at first, but once you do so, man, it's just so rewarding.
We got some questions from the chat. A few of these things we talked about earlier in the stream, but we got plenty of people that are coming in for the first time. With your abilities that you get that are kind of like your utility in this game, if you buy an ability, and it's called an ability, right? So it's something I can do now, and I live the round, do I have to rebuy it the next round?
No, you do not have to rebuy it. If you use it, then you'll have to rebuy it. But if you don't use it, then you're not going to have to rebuy it. Even if you die, you're going to be keeping those through to the next round. And they are relatively cheap as well. So that's something that to bear in mind, that you're very rarely going to come across a team that doesn't have the utility available to them. Most people will spend that extra 100 or 200 to gain those abilities.
I just want to comment something real fast. I don't know if you guys saw that there, but Summit just used Sova's Recon bolt, which is if you click right on the mouse 2 times, it bounces 2 times, and then you're able to get the angle, and then it's line of sight. So if you get it above there, people aren't necessarily going to notice that, and then they're going to have to go for the shot. Just something to note on. Go ahead, Caleb.
Yeah, so it is, even though it's called an ability, which would make it sound like it's something that you can now do indefinitely, it is a single-use thing that once you have, if you die, you lose it, and if you live, once you've used it, you do have to rebuy it, even if you continue.
Certain abilities allow you to use it twice, Dan, right?
If you die, you won't lose it as well. You'll still have it available. You can see at the bottom of Summit's screen there, for example, one that's keybound to his mouse button 5, there are 2 slots there. So that means there are potentially 2 times he can use it. He's already used 1, but then the other one is lit up green, so that is still available for him as well. In the bottom right of that little section of 4, that's his ultimate that's building up. And you can see it's currently almost 1 away from gaining an ultimate. So 1 more kill or 1 more round, or if he picks up an orb, he will then have his ultimate ability available as well.
Someone else asked, when you jump in the air, do you maintain 100% accuracy?
I wish.
No. Thank God you don't. That's all I'm gonna say. Because some of the stuff is crazy.
You know what to do.
Yeah.
Dizzy here.
I forgot to mention this as well. This is actually a very important thing to note. Sorry for everyone who's probably watching this and we totally missed this. You can sell back any weapons and armor that you procure. You cannot sell back utility. You can't sell back your abilities. But if you misclick for whatever reason, and Dizzy just got the kill with the LMG, I love that. He did that with the Phoenix ult, by the way. So if you misclick, or let's say you change your mind, or your team's like, oh, we should save, you can sell your items back to the store, but you cannot sell your abilities. That is the only thing you can't sell.
You also can't, for example, pick up someone else's weapon at the end of the game and then sell that. You can't like pick up an op and then sell that going into the next round. So you can't make money from your opposition team. It was just, if you make that mistake, it's kind of just got that factor of, okay, well, I bought this by accident, I'm going to sell it. Or
can you sell? Someone asked in the chat actually, can you sell back after, if let's say you have the same weapons for the next round, can you sell back? I don't think so, right?
I'm fairly certain you
like
cannot.
The round ends. Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I am 99% sure that you can't if you have brought it from the previous round. It's only if you've bought it that round by mistake, or you've just changed your mind.
Yeah.
What is the advantage to ADSing in this game?
Well, there are a few. One, and this is more of a intangible, I will say, it's comfortability, right? There are a lot of players that come from different games, like Call of Duty, for example, that will feel pretty comfortable with ADS. Now, that being said, as far as, what are some of the benefits of ADSing? Well, for one, you're going to get a tighter spread on your weapon. Now, certain weapons, like the Bulldog, for example, have different kinds of firing rates depending on, or even just modes of fire when you switch to ADS. So the Bulldog, when you go into ADS mode, which is when you aim down your sights, it will become a 3-round burst, similarly to a game like Halo with the battle rifle, if you're familiar with that. When you're not in ADS, you will be able to shoot fully automatic. Then some guns, like the Vandal, as well as the Phantom, which are the 2 primary ARs, which, by the way, we didn't mention, but it doesn't matter whether you're attacking or defending. All guns are available to both sides, whether you're the attackers or the defenders. It's not like you just have one that can only use AKs and one that can only use M4s. It's the same thing. But when you ADS with those guns, you get a tighter spread, but a slower firing rate on top of that. So just a thing that you simply just want to be mindful. There's something else too, Dan. I feel like I'm forgetting. But I know it's a tighter spread and fire rate is one.
The 10% damage difference as well.
There it is, damage
10% less damage difference when you are ADSing. So yes, okay, maybe that's not an advantage of it, but it's also, you've got to think about, you're zooming in and you're literally going to have clearer vision on seeing someone across the map. So that's always going to be something that ADS offers as Dizzy takes down Omega. And
yeah, and
some
that was
of the stuff
with the
I'm seeing
Vandal.
Dizzy and Ace do, GB, is pretty disgusting.
If these two guys decide that they want to compete in Valorant, I could realistically see them just cutting it up. Dizzy, by the way, did something great there on Hookah, which is that room that you see in front of the B-bomb site. We've all kind of, I don't know if those are the official names. Those are just kind of the names that we all have adopted as we played games on and on and on. But one of the things that you saw him do there was he actually shot the flooring, or excuse me, the wall that was present in front of him. And because he shot that wall, it was really close by. He gets the bullet penetration through the wall, and then he was able to get the kill. Walls don't necessarily protect you in this game. It can give you the upper hand, it can give you the jump, but it does not necessarily protect you. If someone shoots through the wall, you can wall bang them, you can take them out if you know exactly where they're going to be located.
And I'm really excited to, well, hopefully we're going to see some Haven as well on today's stream, because we've only seen Bind at the moment. But see how the attackers here are being quite passive. They're pushing towards this A site, but they're waiting to see if anyone's going to be pushing out and getting aggressive from the defending side. On this map, it's less likely to happen because there are less angles to push out for the defenders. But over on Haven, because there are 3 sites for the spike to be planted, you're going to find that defenders are a lot more aggressive, and you're going to find them trying to sneak up behind you far more often. As they do manage to get onto the site here, it's going to be 4v2, but there's all sorts of abilities being thrown down on him there. They know where
and I know we're not supposed to be touching our eyes here, Dan, but you know, right now I'm blind. So I'm going to DM Flom and ask him why would he do this to me? I thought we were friends. So looking now though, Flom, this is actually going to be Ace's perspective. Does get the pick onto Lupo. Now looking up over at Heaven. He does know that there's going to be a player located around there. Bomb will be down as well. And that's going to be, I believe, inside of the showers. So we'll make it a little bit challenging for him to get it. It's also going to be low in health. No armor. 38 HP remaining. But with a Vandal, and he won't be able to do it as Hiko comes around the corner and punishes him as he's in Lantern.
And with that one, it looks like we will hit the halftime. We'll have the round side swap.
Yep, round side swaps, and you know, this also is a little bit, because we can't hear it. I can't hear it right now. You know, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on here, but there are a lot of awesome audio indicators in this game. There is, for example, when the round is at halftime, someone on your team, and this is great for newer players, right? Someone on your team would say, this is the last round before the half, buy everything or use all your money. The game tells you, like they inform you to use all of your cash because you're going to lose it going into the half.
Some of the voice lines are awesome as well, I've got to say.
True.
Like the voice acting in this game has made me laugh so many times.
Yeah, and then there's also the other voice line when they pop an ult, Dan, where you know when a Phoenix is using his ult. Not only do you see this orange glow around him, but you also know that the ult has been popped. You hear the resurrection. Just the voice lines, the audio cues are so good in this game.
Yeah, and that goes across both teams as well.
Let's listen into the gameplay, hear some of that great audio, and let Flom drive the show for a bit. The commentary will be back in a little bit.
No, I don't think they're long. They're just hookah. Hookah.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Let's go. Nice round, boys.
You see how vicious that is there? Like, I don't actually... Basically, you're holding it by yourself, and then I'm just kind of supporting you.
They try the same old tricks.
Can I be minimized and still get drops? I'm not sure.
I'm SMGing armor.
Yeah, same.
I have to get real close on that, right?
I'm gonna run it, and when we're close, yeah, it's just like you just one-shot shotgun headshot.
Okay.
At like this range, it's a one-shot if they don't have full armor.
Okay.
Actually, I think it might be. I'm gonna run in. I just want you to like walk along left wall and see if you can kill one pushing for orb.
Can you B-hop? No, not really. You don't really gain speed when you B-hop.
Get close to him. I'm gonna bait the orb.
Yep.
Good shit, son.
I hit him hard. Hit him for 72.
Perfect.
Oh, he killed. Nice. Look at that trade. One more close.
Another one. Close, pride.
Nice. Look at these trades on this eco. 3v2 right now. There's a pistol that's a shotgun, dude.
MP5 down.
You gotta go.
Another MP5
You wanna come
down.
get this gun summit?
Yeah.
Add Twitch hours to the title. Someone has a scout. You can keep it. I could. Do you want me to change title?
Let's try to work short a little bit.
Okay. 3v2. You guys got this.
Oh wait, somebody already did. It says Twitch Rebels now.
Jordan's last one alive. You lurks.
Was there skins? Literally Jordan and Tim. That's all I'm gonna say.
hey. I didn't want to
actually
say it.
I'm super surprised at how good Tim is, to be honest. Interesting.
Kappa?
That's interesting.
That's a cap right there. Why is your cam off? My cam is on. What do you mean? It's live. Why is there no present here cam? Because there's nowhere to put it, really. I think I feel like people would rather have tagged. Nice. Behind, flank. Nice, guys.
Oh, thank God. I wasn't sure if I could escape there now. Shit. Should I go switch? Yeah, it might be. It's more expensive for sure. It's like $500 more. Just with that. Anyone need a gun?
I probably will.
I can. Yeah, I got you. Lupa. Thank you. Push, Lupa. Push R with me, and I'm just gonna use the SMG.
Okay. You think if you're 36 out of 50, you get armor, or you think I save it?
I think you save, especially if you're sniping. Oh, you're running the SMG?
I'm running
yeah, just entry.
Well, I'll get
entry shower with me, and then I'll get the orb, but we can just fall.
Snuff them out.
You got me, Lupo? You me?
Yeah. I'm gonna step wide and look.
This game will kill CSGO? Nah, sorry, dude, it won't.
I'll have. Get it. I got ult.
He's lit in short.
Like I think he's U-Haul, right?
My flash.
I'm darting in.
My wall's going down. My wall's down.
Dart, you see him right there? You see him right there on the left? He's in the U-Haul. 100%
Do we have bomb on our side? Okay, I'm gonna wall this and we plant. Plant default.
Go. I'm moving up. I'm planting in the corner right here.
Summit. Jump with me, and you can peek over, by the way, towards their like entrance.
That could be flanking us. It's very possible.
Oh, default on default.
God, man. Yo, here's an air on short.
Do you think this game about Pro League? Yeah, absolutely.
I think I flank.
I have flank.
Oh, up top, heaven.
If anything, it'll probably kill Overwatch before it kills CS. I don't think anything's gonna kill CS ever. Nice kill. Nice res.
God, I'm dead.
I feel like a lot of the Overwatch players like this game better than.
Oh, you got me. Just ran inside.
1v2? Possible? 1v2 chat? I messed up here. He was blind too. I hit him with my Q, but he was close enough so it didn't matter.
Say that again?
No using that ADS bullshit. It's not worth, man.
Not worth. Big agree.
Yeah. You're hurting your own Rico. Point click.
Okay.
I think we can force this. I think we can.
Yes, sir.
You can take.
Okay, there you go. Headshot multiplier? I don't know the exact number. I mean, they're just balanced to work different ways in case people have armor. Like Vandal always one-taps head. Deagle always one-taps head. I mean, so I mean, if they're like hard playing,
I'm gonna do my flash peek up here.
Around, you can go one shots if they don't have armor up close. I think I might one shot they are if they don't take me. We can just walk it late. Folks on the right, I'm holding.
I think they're coming long.
They'll be ranked. You flash
if you want.
Not seeing here.
On you should flank that, and I'm just gonna hold Murphy flank.
I'm playing back to you, Flom.
I think it's gonna be. Isn't always one shot. It's always one shot unless you shoot through a wall.
There's too long B. They picked up the orb.
I'm flanking Marky right now.
Yeah, they're B. They're gonna hit B.
I'm stunning it through.
Okay, good.
Oh, that timing, bro. Marky one.
Right. Dead Marky.
I remember that. I'm still tilted.
One more.
I lost. There was two. Fuck. 117 to Lupo, bro.
It shouldn't be in hookah.
Come on, let's go! Spike planted. One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Damn.
Clutch.
Oh. Dude, that was my bad. I should have easily killed Lupo and I whiffed.
God damn it, Ace, you piece of shit. What the?
All good, brother. All good.
Did you ult,
let's save one. Yeah, he ulted, but I think it ran off just in time. I think it wore off.
When it wears off, you teleport back to your spot. Like, he just straight died.
Really? There's not like a duration on it?
There is a duration, but when the duration wears off, you teleport to your body.
So wait, it glitched?
So Dizzy just straight died.
I'm back, sorry.
Dizzy, was that your ult?
Yeah, it did glitch. I ulted.
I was like, what the heck?
I should have got teleported back. I don't know.
What? That's unlucky.
I mean, there's no bugs in this game. What are you talking about?
Yeah, hey, true.
We got to watch, listen to the team comms. These guys exploring the game for the first time. The game is in alpha, so, you know, if there were things that maybe, there's always a possibility you run into a bug here or two. But I just want Ace to share the Capri Suns.
Yeah,
and, get some...
like, come on, man. Share the love, dude, you know?
Here we see a display of Blade Storm. Pop, got one.
Ooh, there it is.
Oh!
Ooh, there it is. There it is. Looking for the 3. Ah, Lupo is going to end the Blade Storm. So I did want to issue a clarification real fast. As I had previously stated before, you can sell, you know, all the things that you get, right? Let's say you misclick or something like that, or your team wants to recalibrate and maybe do a you know, a save round or something, eco round. You could totally do that. The one thing I did say was that you couldn't sell back abilities, and that actually is not true. You can sell back abilities, but if you bought, let's say, you know, a slow orb or something like that, going into the next round, you cannot sell that ability back. So if it was with you for another round, you can't sell that back. So just a little small thing to clarify: you can sell back the things that you buy if you bought it that round and you're, you know, waiting to, you know, complete the round or something. But again, it all adds to the communication, it adds to the strategy, you know.
Well, this game's been. It's not one-sided just yet. A 3-round advantage for Ace and Dizzy's squad here. Well, a 3-round disadvantage actually for Ace and Dizzy's squad. They're losing right now.
Yeah, I'd say for the majority of games that we've seen, they've been pretty well matched up, and I think that's probably the point, is that we've put some of the best players on from other games on certain teams, and some other players who may not have played these types of games on the teams as well. And it's balanced out quite nicely as to why we have these very evenly matched games.
Just a reminder to everybody in chat, you're not waiting to get a key drop. You're just waiting for your account to be whitelisted. If you've linked your Riot and your Twitch account, which you can do by going to your settings on Twitch and then going to connections, as long as you've linked those and you're watching our stream or watching one of the streams listed in that Twitch Rivals extension, you'll be eligible to have your account whitelisted, and you'll get a notification here on Twitch, that bell icon in the top right corner is where you'll see it. It won't be in a key that you have to put anywhere. It's just, it'll say, hey, you are now whitelisted and able to play Valorant when it comes out on April 7th. The beta will be launching on April 7th. And we'll all want to be in there.
Don't be too discouraged if you don't get it today. The beta doesn't even start until April the 7th, till the Tuesday. And you can still get drops on April the 7th as well, when everyone starts streaming their closed beta coverage. So don't worry about it too much today if you don't get it. There will still be chances to get it on a later date.
But Dan, I want it now. And if I'm able to spam drop 15,000 times, but gosh darn it, I'm gonna do it, bro.
Even if it doesn't help, if it makes you feel better, then go for it.
It doesn't help, but like, what if it did?
Help.
What if it did?
Like, what if they didn't? They just didn't tell us. They just want to see who was most dedicated.
Don't do that. You don't Rocket League it, okay? With your what a shot there from Ace! My word, that's gonna secure the round. Hiko caught in hookah. Goodbye, my friend.
I need this.
When will we get a notification? You'll get a notification as soon as your account's been whitelisted. It'll happen immediately. So if you don't have one yet, don't worry. Just keep watching. I haven't got one yet. I'm sitting here watching it.
Yeah, Wave is hosting the show, and he doesn't even have access to the game.
Dude, I am one of you, chat. I am down in the trenches with you guys. A man of the people.
Yeah, he's not in Twitch chat because, you know, he wants to engage. No, he's in Twitch chat because he really, really wants a key.
I'm just here for the copy pastas and the golden kappas, man. Golden kappa check? Anybody got it right now?
Golden kappa check? I have a golden what face.
You do have a golden what face.
That is the fifth time you've mentioned the what face this stream. I have been ticking it off. That's number 5.
Have you been really keeping track of it? I don't think it was 5.
I think that you mentioned it quite often, so I just wanted to check how many times this stream you were going to say it, and that's 5.
Is Golden Boy still calling ASU Ace? I mean, look, I go ASU Ace. It could be. It could, you know, I'll message him, and if he yells at me, he'll yell at me. Okay, guy. Ooh, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. He's got the shot lined up. I'll say ASU moving forward. Okay, guys. Man, I got you.
Nobody has the golden kappa. Feels bad.
Nobody has the golden kappa?
No, I
hate
looked.
to see it, man.
Oh.
Golden Dr. Disrespect, though. So that works for me. Let's see here. I think Mendo did get the res on a cloak, and although the res did go through, it was not enough. And that is going to be another round win here. Getting close to being able to tie this one up. Not a bad game so far here, though, for our opponent, our opposing, excuse me, words are hard, opposing team.
And
could go down to the wire.
Unsurprisingly, ACU's aim is incredible. Already got that recoil control, the spray pattern down to a T. For those who are out there and they're wondering about spray patterns and like, are they going to be the same? Can you learn them? You can learn them to a point. As far as I'm aware, the spray patterns are the same up to a certain point, and then they become random. So you can learn the first X amount of time, but then after a while, if you're just spraying for too long and going for the spray and pray, then it becomes random. So you're better off just learning that initial bit of recoil rather than an entire amount of recoil that you might see in other games.
Yeah, and again, don't be discouraged if you're not learning it right away. It's something that's simply just going to take a little bit of time to adjust, and that's perfectly fine. Oh, I love that strategy, by the way. The wall, though, did not block them fully, but they were able to get down the spike. That was a pretty cool play.
And certainly, I guess, if you are new to a game like this and you are struggling with aim, one of the biggest tips that I could give you is A, stand still, B, pull your cursor down as you shoot, because your bullets are naturally going to go up, and you can also utilize crouching as well. So if you start shooting at someone's head and then you crouch, you're automatically going to lower that crosshair, so you're automatically going to be able to improve your recoil control just by crouching. There's all these little things that you can do when you're moving into a game. I know a lot of people watching this will be very familiar with how to control recoil in games like Counter-Strike, etc. But I know there are people out there who will be coming into this game and they will struggle with aiming, because I have friends who have just come from console shooters, for example, and they're not used to this kind of aiming. So it's worth noting.
Yeah, it is, because it's different. It's just it's a different kind of beast. Sometimes too, when you're going for too long, your reticule won't actually refocus and center. Because you've been shooting for way too long, so like the recoil has kind of just gotten out of control. I know that a lot of people love static when they play games like this, like static crosshairs, but I just feel like for me, I just like to know when I'm good to go, right? Like when I have the all go ahead, all clear to be able to go and fire my gun again, because it's just something that I'm used to, you know, coming from the background of games that I play.
And you can see it on Lupo's screen, for example. He does have a crosshair that you'll see is slightly opening a little bit when he's moving. So that's just notifying him saying, well, you're not going to be having like pinpoint aim right now. So make sure you do stand still.
Now we got Lupo and Hookah. He's going to have his teammate with him here. That's going to be Breach trying to push him back. Breach is one of the agents that, you know, I did not get a lot of opportunity to play, but it just seems like the utility is like really fun to use, you know? And this is going to be the ultimate ability there. It deployed, I believe that was. I'm sorry, that was not the ultimate ability. Again, it's just an agent that I have not had a lot of opportunity to play, but that was going to be the fault line ability of Breach that throws out that seismic blast. And it actually, it's pretty devastating. Now, the Rolling Thunder, what you saw there, that was the ultimate of Breach. But unfortunately, just as they got the spike down, the plan fell apart, the wagon fell to pieces, and that is going to be the round to the other team.
That was a pretty cool looking ability. I can't wait to do that myself.
Well, it's cool when you activate it, but let me tell you, when you're in it... It's like you can't move, everything starts to get real shaky, the screen gets darker, like it is rough. It is rough, but it is a super cool looking ability. Like some of the ultimates in the game, like Breaches, Rolling Thunder, or the Orbital Strike, those they're so cool looking. They just look like they're fun to use.
I'm not sure. I'll tell you in a second.
And then of course it's Blade Storm, which everyone wants to use.
I don't see anything.
And on the other side, you can see defensively how you can use Breach as well, as Tim the Tapman is just going to be charging it up and just making sure that he can flash anyone that's going to walk through. That's one of the abilities that is available for Breach. You kind of fire it in a direction, and anyone caught in that, anyone who has line of sight of it is going to be temporarily have their vision disabled. And a lot of the abilities have indicators of whether you have actually flashed someone successfully as well. So if you walk round a corner and you see someone, they might have a little bit of a bubble above their head, and that means your ability to successfully hit them. Not with all, but with some. For example, Omen, he has the ability when he fires his flash through the wall, you will get that indication.
Yeah, same thing with Phoenix as well. When you flash them, their eyes are going to be like bright and cloudy looking. You're not going to get the indication in your HUD. Just to clarify, you will not get any indications in your HUD. You have to physically look at the player in order for you to get confirmation that you impacted this player in that particular way. But you'll typically see it in their eyes or something like that, like on their face.
That's my noise.
So 2v4 at the moment. And of course, very difficult when you are attacking if you don't have the numbers, because you have to try and push onto a site with fewer men or women, depending on which agents you might be using. And when you've got players like Tim the Tatman just waiting and lurking around the corner, you know, it becomes very difficult. You think you're being sneaky, getting onto a site, and suddenly there's Tim just crouching in a corner and ruining your day.
There's that cheeky smile there from Tim. He was so proud of himself with that play, as he should be though. They did not check their corners. They came around the side. Hookah is such a hot spot on this map. You always have to be cautious about it. The issue is though that if you do come around the side, you have those boxes there, and those boxes that are positioned against a wall should be able to protect you a little bit against whatever player is going to be on the opposite side, more towards site. So you should theoretically just pop around corner, check your wall, turn around real fast, and get right back into the action. But you have to check your corners in Hookah, because that place, there's always someone there looking around trying to get a double.
And patience is just so important. You might think, oh, well, isn't it a little bit boring just kind of waiting around the corner and crouching and, oh my god, he's camping? But it's so important to have someone who is prepared to be that patient player, to lurk around. And what I mean by lurking is, if you're an attacker, you might move over towards A site whilst the rest of your team has gone B, just so you can lurk around a corner and wait for maybe some aggression from the defending team. Because if players are on B and they're waiting and no one's there, they might start to push up the map a little bit to try and flank you. If you're lurking successfully, you'll catch them off guard when they don't realize you're there. Having someone who does have that patience can be so important.
Look at the way that he's utilizing the seismic abilities of Breach. The Rolling Thunder first, and then tossed out the fault line as well. That is going to be on a cooldown, though. A few players are going to be creeping around the corner there, coming from B long, and they need folks on the rotation to have their back. Thankfully, there is going to be one player located close by. Dizzy did go in for the fight, but Lupo gets the answer back. He got a guy hanging out here in the corner, though. Another one's going to be residing inside of Hookah. Players located now by that B site. Now, here's the thing that I want everyone to keep in mind as this round concludes here and his team successfully holds it down, is if you notice that the